What's up, y'all? It's your boy, The Amazing King, coming to you live and in color, bringing that oh so amazing touch. I want to welcome y'all back to the Get Ready For It podcast, episode 8. There's only 2 more episodes until our season finale. We're getting closer to the conclusion here. I want to introduce you guys to my co-host.
Yo, this is Savage XL, bringing that X and that L once again. What's up, everybody?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What? What are you talking about?
Crazy.
I'm confused. What's up? Who are you speaking to?
KP, you see how he cut us off, man?
I mean, I just had to, before he even started, I didn't want to interrupt him as bad as I did, but I just had to let you know that you ain't shit.
KP, go ahead, man.
Up jumps the boogie. It's the boy KP. We finna have us a good day.
I'm glad to see that my boy KP is back in the building. You know that gingivitis done cleared up. You know the doctor gave him the pink slip to let him, back into society in a regular place. And I'm so happy to see you here, boy. And that smile, boy, it's looking okay.
So anyway, if you got gingivitis, what's wrong with your teeth?
First of all, your whole body belongs in the trash, the straight garbage.
Okay.
I'm talking to my boy right now. Can I have my moment?
Okay. Because you missed him on the last episode. You know how you was pouting and crying.
Anyway, can we act like we got some sense? We got 2 guests in the building. We got my girl, Kesha.
Hey, what's good? What's good? Finesse got in the building, honey. What's up?
Ooh, finesse guy. Oh, what? You over here spitting already? You a poet?
You know, I'm a poet and y'all ain't even know it. It's all good.
Dropping them.
Bars.
Dropping them bars. Ooh.
All right, we got my boy Alphonso in the building. You ready to have a good time, man?
Most of trying to see what Cedric got going on.
First of all, 2 things. My name is King, the Amazing King. Secondly, first of all, KP didn't even introduce you right. We got the bodybuilder, the what we call the ladies champ. My boy Alphonso was in the building. That's how you're supposed to do it. You saw how that rolled off the tongue and it came so far. Eloquent? Is that the proper word?
Let's not use words we don't know. Let's not use words we don't know.
But that's not the right word though. Eloquent. I said it right. It took me a minute, but I got
Probably
there.
not even the right word you should use, but
Hey, listen, I appreciate it though, King. I got you.
Thank you. Y'all don't know we rehearsed that like 6 times and he just forgot. Anyway, in honor of Black History Month, my palm is up to the sky right now. It's in a fist form, if y'all know what that means. I don't know, palm, fist, whatever it is. Black History Month. We got a couple of topics we're going to talk about and just discuss because, I'm very opinionated. Savage is very opinionated. KP is opinionated. We already know. We got our boy Alphonso. He's extremely opinionated. And my girl Kesha, she always brings the enlightenment to the opinion. So, we're going to definitely dive right in. I know y'all done heard about this tragic incident that happened to our fellow African-American man, Kobe Bryant. Savage, since you are an athlete, go ahead and speak on that topic a little bit, man.
Well, first and foremost, I do want to say, my condolences to the Bryant family just on everything that's happened. And I do think we need to at least give 8 seconds a moment of silence just for Kobe. Can we do that?
You can't give 10?
It's 8. That's his number, nigga.
Thank you. Thank you.
8? Okay. Everybody bow their heads. Is it over? Start. I'm sorry. Wait.
We need to stop watching.
So that was 8 seconds, y'all. I do apologize for the disrespect that King caused us. But anyway, getting back to it, it was extremely tragic. So I do, me being a ex-basketball player, I felt some kind of way. And actually, I don't think that you even had to play sports just to feel the impact of it all.
KP, how did you feel about that? Because you are one of the tall giants yourself.
Kobe is, in my opinion, he was the greatest player to play. Just how he went about it, or he was my favorite. Let me just say that. I ain't gonna say he the greatest. But yeah, man, it was sad. I ain't cry though, but I wanted to.
My boy Alphonso, how did you feel when you heard that news?
I mean, me being a dad and him losing his daughter in that too, it was tragic. I felt it, and I can't even explain how his wife actually feels about it. Cause women are crazy about their kids, so it's, I don't know, it broke my heart, honestly speaking.
What about you, Keisha?
I'm with that. I'm a diehard Lakers fan, since I was born. So, it was tough. I sat in my room, ain't gonna cap. I cried a little bit. It's just that feeling, just
that's
to
respect,
Fonzo's
though.
point. Yeah, that feeling of like losing your child and your husband, like you ain't gonna never see them again, and you still gotta live a strong life for the other 3 kids that you got behind. So definitely tough.
It was tough for me too. Now, even though I have never played basketball, dribbled a ball, or been anywhere on the basketball court, I still felt it because that was an African American man. I think it's a horrible thing to lose yourself and then lose your child at the same time. So I think it was a horrible experience to witness. It was very sad. I woke up, I was like, "What's going on? Who died?" I thought a regular person had passed away, but it was just sad to hear that somebody who had put so much time into a career, invested so much into African American children and things of that nature, it was just sad.
I'm surprised you could even read what had happened.
Brother, you never played a sport?
No,
That's not
no,
what I
no,
said.
no,
That's not what I
No.
said. You see, you have to use your listening ears. What I said was I never dribbled a ball or been on the basketball court. That's
So what
one
sport you
sport.
played?
Huh?
What sport you played?
Excuse
King?
me?
What sport you played?
Oh, listen. Okay.
Kickball don't count.
It don't.
No, I feel as though jacking off is a own sport separately.
Oh.
So
That's
I
why your
played.
fist was stuck like that. I got you.
Professional.
I got you.
Listen, A1 on A1. So anyway, moving right along though, we're gonna keep in the Kobe field though, but I want to bring up the topic regarding that interview that Gail did regarding the topic. I want to get you guys' opinion on that, and then I'm gonna ask you about the reaction that Snoop Dogg gave. So Savage, how did you feel about what Gail said?
Actually, I feel like it was a little bit inappropriate. I did catch a little bit of the interview. It was actually with Lisa Leslie, WNBA legend. She even was taken aback by the question and felt a little bit uncomfortable about it. So I don't think that Snoop Dogg was wrong. He just might have been misplaced with his words, seeing as how he's underneath that umbrella with Gail.
What about you, Kesha? How did you feel about it?
Fuck yeah.
Ooh,
100.
I mean, just on the real, like, this just wasn't the time for her to do that. Like, I understand you got a job. I understand, like, you got to ask those questions. But first of all, like, that's 20 years ago, like 20 years plus. It ain't like he was convicted of what the crime was. And then for you to try and, like, just bombard Lisa Leslie with those questions while she's still mourning the loss of her friend, like, to me, that was trash. And then if you ain't gonna pull up all these white men who get called and getting convicted of the same crime, I don't want to hear it. Like, you was just straight up rude as fuck for that one.
ooh, okay, you kind of went. Okay, Alphonso, what about you?
I mean, I agree with Kesha. Like, that's crazy as hell. The dude, like, just literally passed. His best friend, who's a female, is sitting there, like, going through the interview with you, being respectful and everything. And then you come up, yo, so does this tarnish his legacy? Like, that's the worst thing you could have ever done to somebody who lost somebody. And, like, I don't feel like Snoop was wrong. Like, he should have went in a little more. But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you just don't do people like that, especially who just lost someone.
What about you, KP?
As far as like the whole situation, being a Kobe fan, I wasn't trying to get into the whole social media thing in general because I just thought it was messed up how everybody, not even just Gail, it's other people. You had like another white comedian, just normal people, even black people. They was just really bugging out, and I'm like, bro, he just died today. Y'all already got jokes and memes and everybody telling their opinion. Like, bro, let it breathe. And I just feel like it's messed up that he went out like that. And even still right now, it's too much controversy to his death. Like, it's just too much, bro.
I have an opinion. And I feel as though, yes, did she speak out of turn? Yes. Should she have received the amount of backlash that she did? No.
Yes.
No, I don't feel it. Because here's the thing. She's not the one that sat down and wrote those interview questions. CBS, let me finish. CBS, who is the network, wrote down and wrote those questions for her to say. And what they did was they chopped up the whole interview to that one part. If you actually watch the whole interview, it wasn't as bad as that one scene made it to be. But, since I'm the only one that clearly saw the whole interview, I have a more,
No.
research on it.
Wait,
whoa, I can't.
Definitely
It's
not.
one person at a time. I know you guys try to come for the king in the group because you got to, but it's going to be one person at a time. So who want to go first? Alfonso, go ahead.
Most of. So, first off, like what Snoop said, she should have came at him, or CBS should have came at him when he was alive, when he went through the process of return and getting all the like going through all the different accomplishments and everything, and the jerseys and everything being dropped, they should have came to him. And like they stated, that case or the allegations happened in 2003. They went to court. It was thrown out. They cleared everything up in a civil suit. It shouldn't have been a part of the interview. When he was alive, those questions should have been asked.
So that means that it was right for Snoop Dogg to call her a bitch. No, not this. I think he said a raggedy bitch.
He called her a raggedy, dusty bitch.
Correct.
So I'm gonna put it like this for him. I saw the whole interview.
Right, you saw the whole interview.
So yes, it wasn't to the point of it was just based on that. But yes, CBS did chop everything up, and they did just place that out on Twitter. Now, whether or not they made it and they wanted to be such a controversial topic was besides the point. She does have a way of not asking that question. And again, like I said, Lisa Leslie was very, very taken back by the question.
Correct. So you saw Gail's response to it, correct? And how what she said, the reason why she asked the question and how that came about. Okay. So does that mean that Snoop Dogg had the right to say, you raggedy? Because I haven't seen, no offense, you can pull up an interview. I don't see recently where Snoop Dogg has called a white woman a raggedy.
Okay, so I mean, if you want to put it that way, that was fueled by more emotion. You got to understand.
No, I understand that part, but that's not my question. My question is,
so you're saying, so basically, you're just saying, was it okay for him to call her a raggedy bitch?
Yes.
In the sense of it, no, and that's what I said. It wasn't, but at the time, for all emotion purposes, like, yeah, he was upset. Kobe was his friend. So
correct.
At any point, she could have been white. I think he would have said the same thing.
So it was okay for that grown man to call that lady that's almost his grandmother's age, or probably his mother or great grandmother, out her name. So, I'm just making sure I'm getting clarifying this. So Alphonso has something to say. Go ahead.
I definitely would say yes in this sense.
Right. You seem like that type of man. Keep going.
But I would say yes only because, like, it is common in our culture or community for women to speak out of turn about men.
Okay, keep going.
And it is used to be as a social norm in this day and age. But because a man used his platform to come out and spoke widely on it, it was viewed in a negative light. But it was fueled by emotion, and he was just coming out really and truly expressing himself. But as he did state, he came back and apologized after speaking to his mom. So, I mean, he said he was wrong for calling her out of name and using the language that he used, but he didn't apologize for what he actually said to her.
I'm not saying at all that he should apologize for what he said, is how he said it. Kesha, what's your opinion on it?
Listen, ain't no reason for him to apologize for what he said. It's just how he said it. To King's point, Savage point, he was speaking out of emotion. And at the end of the day, I'm sure that every last one of us done got into an argument or something in this room right now, and you spoke out of emotion. And granted, did you go back? Maybe you did go back and apologize, but maybe 90% of the time you didn't, and you probably don't even fuck with that person no more as it is right now. At the end of the day, if Snoop Dogg wasn't Snoop Dogg, we wouldn't be having this conversation. If she asked these questions about somebody else that wasn't Kobe Bryant, who didn't just die, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So to Fonzo's point, it's all about the clout that they have and who they are. That's why we still having this conversation. That's all it is, man.
What about Charlie Weinstein?
Right.
I mean,
Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
There
my
it
thing,
is.
my thing is,
My audience, he's on that crown, that look at that dark Hennessy.
But no, to that point though, why hasn't Gail interviewed him? You know what I'm saying? When they interviewed him and he's been convicted.
Because the network is setting them people up. That's what I personally believe.
It don't matter who's setting who up. Man, this man dead, can't even defend himself, and you want to have this the network want to have this conversation now?
Do you think,
20 years to have this conversation while he was alive.
Do you think that she's going to be the only person that asked that question or bring that up? She's not the only person who brought that up.
Not.
It's just because she has a bigger platform.
Absolutely not. But she got that same bigger platform to call out Harvey Weinstein too. That's my issue. Don't call out one and not call out the other. Either gonna call them all out or don't call them out.
Okay, so y'all must feel the same way about Oprah, huh?
Oh yeah. I ain't.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I honestly think they had her give that interview first, even though it's been all over social media. But because she was a black woman, they felt that it was going to come across a little bit easier with her presenting that. Mm-hmm. If Nancy Grace would have said it, I think that it probably would have been even more of a backlash.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
If you know if you know what Nancy Grace says and what they
Nah.
wouldn't be surprised that she
It
said
hit
that.
It's
different
not that
'cause it's
she would have
black
been
on black.
surprised, but they would have. Somebody would have taken it into a racial manner. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is, they thought that it was going to come across easier that Gail did it.
It would have been a
That's-
whole protest going
Yep.
on.
I mean, mind you, let's keep in mind that the girl, which they already had tested her, she had like several different semens inside
you.
of her. So
After Denver
That
Nuggets
was-
team
yeah.
to be exact.
there was no proof.
So y'all, so everybody just agreeing that disrespect is okay.
No, that's
But,
not what we said. We
get ready
just
for a
said they just forgot
podcast. You know,
emotion.
Savage, Alphonso, Kesha, and KP agreed that disrespect is okay.
Nah.
I mean, but
To a black old lady.
Who
Keep
started
going.
it though?
Hmm?
I mean, initially she asked that question. Like, let's be real. In a serious situation, even though somebody said ask these questions, I would have skipped it. Like at that point in time,
Because she got a right to do that too. Why she ain't skip the questions?
I
Why
probably
take
would.
that backlash herself
Exactly.
instead of from everybody else.
So we gonna Seems like that's an old thing that the white people do. Blame the black person, and the black person take all the heat. I'm just pointing fact. That leads me into my next topic anyway. And this one, I am, I definitely want to get Alfonso's opinion on this one because he just, I guess, the manly man. Since we were talking about a black woman, which is Gail, do you guys feel as though black women are the most disrespected people in the world? Let me first, before y'all start talking, I want to go ahead and get KP's opinions first. So, because typically sometimes there's some, common sense or brain in there. Go ahead. Speak some facts or something like that. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say yes,
Oh, go ahead. Explain why.
just because I'm a king and they're all queens, and on a daily, just as people of color, we're always disrespected in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether they know that they did it or not, or whatever the case is. Now, I do feel like because everybody shares their preferences and everybody's opinion matters. Now, black women, I guess they take offense to a lot of stuff. I mean, I do too, just as a black man, because it's all so many stereotypes. My hair's locked up. I'm tall. I'm fucking black, and automatically I'm a fucking criminal in everybody's eyes, even black people's eyes. But it's just like, I love black women. I will always uplift black women, and nothing wrong with a little chocolate in your life.
What about you, Kesha? How do you feel about it?
I'm gonna give it this. Black women are definitely the most disrespected, but I'm not gonna take away that black men are quickly behind them as a 1A and 1B on the real.
Savage, what do you think?
I'm actually going to agree with Kesha on this one. I believe that black women, they are among the most disrespected. But actually, I think it comes down to perception too. So if you're looking at it just from the entertainment standpoint, yes, you see a lot of black women on TV and they might be in thongs and shaking their ass. But to some other people, they look at that, they're looked at, as KP stated, as queens. Everybody wants to be with them, like them, so they want to get the body shots, the butt injections and things like that. So it just really depends on which light that you're looking from it at. But all in all, I feel like we need to hold up our black women.
And last but not least, Alphonso.
So I'm gonna have to disagree. I really truly feel like men these days are disrespected more than black women.
You're wrong, but okay.
Especially black men. I mean, back in the day, Google just posted the whole thing about what's the lady name? I can't even remember.
That's that Henny. Keep going.
But with the whole women rights and everything, and her pushing the right to vote for women, so back then I would definitely agree that women, were disrespected. They weren't equal. But this day and age, they have more laws and stuff put in place for women to succeed than black men. And then, like everyone else said, we're constantly profiled, from having dregs to whatever. Like,
So the black woman is not profiled the same amount?
Nah, most definitely not.
So you're saying that the laws that were put into place, people follow those laws. Keep going.
Yeah, everybody follows the laws. Who don't?
Okay. America, that opinion is incorrect, 100%. Okay.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, on a social level, when it comes down to, let's say, the black community, black women disrespect black men on a regular basis, but it has turned out to be a social norm. It's okay. Kind of like going back to grade school, sticks and stones, you know the rest, brother. But I'm just saying, like, it's a social norm. So it's okay for a woman to do it, but like Snoop and Gail, as soon as a guy does it, it's, oh, he's wrong. He shouldn't did this. Don't hit her. Like, come on now, it's crazy.
But you're speaking in one category though.
Then give some other categories.
I'm
brother.
saying in general, you're telling me that a black woman who brings life into the world, who for black females get left with the child.
Oh, now
You're
talking
saying,
about-
no, but this is in general.
no,
You're talking
okay,
about one.
but-
You're talking about one specific
but I'm
part of
just
the
saying-
black community.
but
I'm talking
hold
about
on,
as a
hold
whole
on,
black.
hold
No,
on
let me
now,
finish my
hold on,
topic
nah,
because
nah,
I'll let you
nah,
finish.
nah,
I'll let you
brother,
finish.
nah,
I'll let you
I'll
finish.
let you get that bullshit out. So
Okay,
hold
go
on,
ahead,
you
go
hold
ahead,
on,
go ahead,
you
go
hold
ahead. Say
on,
what you want to say.
you
Cause
hold
I'm
on.
finna
Yeah,
I'm
you
finna
hold
state
on.
facts.
So,
Go ahead.
Somebody
so,
got
hold on.
popcorn?
I'm loving this.
Hold on. So look here though.
Right.
Women could lead the kid also, and that does happen, but you don't hear about those instances or scenarios. But
What percentile is higher?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It does
still
matter.
It still happens. It still happens. That's just like the lady on social media who decided to cut her daughter hair, cut the
Right.
beads out her head. Like, she doesn't even know how much damage she done to the baby because she felt like she was pretty. The dad took her out to get her hair done. She felt some type of way, and that's the whole negative perception of black men in the community, and she decided to chop her hair off.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, she did look bald, but she ain't got to make the baby bald. Come on
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Like,
So
I'm just saying.
you gonna let me talk?
No, I'm not even done.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me
go
just step my facts. What my whole thing was about that. If you compare a black man to a black woman, and you put certain scenarios, I know you're saying that you don't hear about the women leaving the child because the majority of the time it's the man leaving the black woman with the child. Let me finish. So the auntie, the grandmas, the nieces raise the child. If you
Hold on.
let me
somebody
finish.
out.
No, you're not letting me
Let
finish
somebody
though.
out.
But you have to
The
let me
fire-
finish.
The fire station.
Okay,
You
let me
somebody
finish.
out.
But let me finish though. So you're saying if you just pick 10 random black females and ask them, is the father still in their life? Majority of those people are going to say no, and that's just facts. So that's my one right there. Because you gave one, I'm giving you one too as
Okay,
well.
come on.
You know, they always treat black women as if they're not worthy to other people, about the way they look, how dark they are, their skin color, their hair, their weight.
Self-perception.
No, that's not self-perception, my friend. That's facts.
If you don't feel pretty, then you're not gonna be pretty.
That's
you.
not. Listen, can somebody get Alphonso together? Because his opinion is just screwed. Because he believes that. Go ahead, Kesha. Go ahead. Because
Let me ask you this, Alphonso.
I'm getting hot.
Yeah. Turn the fan on.
King over here just heated, boy. It's real mad, real fast. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
When it comes to corporate America, this
Right.
is the example that I always like to use. Do you think that if a black man and a black woman had the same job, who gonna make the most money? If they have the same exact position, who making more money?
Not the male. Of course, the male is gonna make more money.
Why?
I mean, society.
So is that just society or is that just in general?
I mean, but it would be, let's say in general, but in this day and age, that has changed because of all the rules and stuff that they put in place and everything else. Everything's not how it used to be. Like if we were back in the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, then most definitely. But a lot of stuff has changed.
So let me throw this at you. Black women and women in general still make only 73% of what a man makes in the same exact position.
Black or white?
Either. Women to men, period.
Word.
Women to men, period.
Somebody
The
drop a
reason-
bomb. Drop a bomb. Because
the reason I bring this up is because, like, essentially, to your point, you know, black men are being disrespected. I won't ever argue with that. But in that same token, black women are also disrespected. 4 out of the 5 of us sitting at this table right now, dreadlocks, period. So, and that's including me.
Hold on. All
So how
5
many
of us got dreads now.
Oh, my bad. I forgot about King. I forgot about his situation over here. You right. It done locked up, you know.
Right.
Not on
It's
purpose, but it
it's
done
mad.
locked up. But my point is, I'm sure that y'all have been profiled, but that doesn't take away from the fact that so have I, just because of what I look like with some locks on. So at the end of the day, that's why I say it's a very strong 1A and a 1B. A black man still is disrespected, but to your point, a black woman can talk to a black man any type of way, and we say, oh, that's cool, that's cool. A black man can still talk to a black woman any type of way, and we say, oh, that's cool, that's cool. So in that same token, we can't say, oh, it's only going one way when it's not.
Because you, like I was saying, that he gave one example.
Hold on.
Let me finish.
Hold on,
We're
let you
giving-
finish. You
no,
just
no,
you
didn't,
just jumped back
'cause
in. Hold on, you just jumped back
interrupted
in.
me.
No,
This
just
is
hold on.
every day at
So
work, y'all.
so check it.
Go ahead.
But Kesha, like I do totally agree with you. But on a corporate level, yes, women are disrespected when it comes to men, but when it comes to being out in a community, a man is like disrespected more. Like, for example, on the guy Eric Gardner, who was out selling CDs. If it was a woman selling CDs back in 2016, she wouldn't have got shot.
We don't know that.
The police,
We don't know that cop's intentions.
but the police officer wouldn't have used that type
You want
of force.
using specific
know that.
examples. You're
We
not
don't know
using
that.
the whole.
Alphonso, I just do want to address kind of what Kesha was talking about. So you were saying like a lot of rules have been put in place and they have changed. So did you know right now statistically, if a black woman was to go into a hospital and she was to give birth, if there were any birth complications right now, she would be put to the end of the line and everybody in front of her would go, all because of the fact that she was black. And it doesn't matter if she had money, a degree, anything like that. And that's a proven fact, 223% actually. And that's actually in today's age. So, I mean, going back to what Kesha was talking about, I do believe that black men, yes, we are very much disrespected. It's happened to me numerous of times. But as far as the woman, to what King was talking about, just as far as in the child's case, it may be just, even if it's by a hair, the black woman just might come out on top just by a little bit.
But that's when you put a kid in place. Like, his argument was, oh, well, if the mother, if the father steps away, then you got the grandmother, mother, whatever. But the thing is, there's other people. They have adoption agencies. They have the fire truck station, the hospital. Whenever that happens, it's not at the parent drops them off. It's not, what is it called? When you leave your kid. Abandonment. If you leave them at them type of places. So those don't really get talked about. They go into a system and then that's it. The system is there for the mom. Like,
so, but a father can also drop their child off at that
the same thing.
So
Right.
is that system for the mother or the father, or is it for both?
it's for the mother.
Nah.
It's for both. Listen.
They can both do the same thing. Hell
Listen,
no.
You see
because
why
at the father leaves with the kid being with the mom. But if the mom leaves, 9 times out of 10, it may not be somebody to pick up the slack based on the environment that they're in.
We're going to let KP wrap this topic up.
Can I just ask a really quick question? How were you raised in your home? Or how many? Did you have your mom in your life?
I had my mom, my dad, my grandmother, my grandfather, my great-grandparents, everybody.
So in each and every one of those households, who was the rock?
No, I had a village. I had everyone. So my father
still has houses. So in each one of those houses, who was the rock in that family?
The male always led.
We didn't say who led. We didn't
no,
say who
the
led.
rock-
He said who
no.
was the rock.
Right, the rock. My father, my grandfather. Like, it was everybody. Like how a family should operate and be. I had that. So I can't be like the one who say, oh, well, I didn't have my mom. I didn't have my dad. I didn't have my grandparents. I had all the different generations.
Okay, so in your life, when shit went wrong, immediately, who was the first person you was thinking to call?
My dad.
Okay. All right.
And I also had step parents too. So
that's me understanding your perspective, because just in general, the fact that you yourself, out of all of these questions, you immediately switched over to being a man. You put that woman second. I'm not saying that's wrong. I had my dad in my life. My dad was one of the most rugged people you would ever see, but he always, even if he was just his side piece, he put her on a pedestal at all times. So in just for me personally, it's just, I love black women and I love women in general, and I feel like they all deserve the respect. But just to say that we are disrespected more than a woman in general, you know how hard they get raped? How often is it that a man gets raped?
But you don't hear about it. So you can't ask the question if you don't hear about it.
So we're going to wrap this topic up because we're not going to come to an agreement at this point at all. So we're going to go the next topic. We're going to, because I said what I said, and he said what he said, and she said what she said, and KP said what he said.
Everybody got a good
I
point
see
on
one
that
point.
one.
Anyway,
That's your point.
I want to ask you this question because I remember I was watching this video this weekend with Justin Bieber. I know Justin Bieber, yeah, and it was it's called Yum. Something I noticed with Caucasian celebrities is what they tend to do is borrow the black culture when it benefits them, and then they abandon it, and then when they realize that they shit ain't hidden, they come back to it. I want to know, Kesha, why do you think that is? I'm talking about Justin Bieber, I'm talking about Justin Timberlake, and I'm talking about Miley Cyrus. What is your opinion on that, Kesha?
So first things first, we don't know how those folks was raised. right? And so, granted, let's say we find out how they were raised. What if they were raised with folks who just have that black culture in them, or that's all that they've been around? So
Hannah
we can't say-
Montana? Okay, go
we
ahead.
can't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, we don't know how they were raised. We don't know who they were around when they came up. So at the end of the day, do I understand people saying, "Oh, we're taking their culture, we're doing this, we're doing that"? Absolutely, I totally understand that. But at the end of the day, if that's what you like. That's what you like. I'm not mad at you because you want to get your sales up and you are a rapper or a singer. I'm not mad at that. Like, I get both sides of it, but I'm not mad at that. But what I don't want to see is you criticizing my culture when it doesn't work for you. If you stop doing it when it doesn't work for you, you're just being a wise individual. If I go to work every day and I do one thing at work and that works for me, I'm not gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna keep doing that. So it's not so much as me stealing culture. It's just, hey, I'm gonna do what works for me. So I ain't really got no issue with them doing their thing. And when they don't like it, they don't like it. If it don't work, it don't work. But the minute you start to criticize it, that's when I'm not on your side no more. When you start to criticize what it is that you want it to be or you want it to pretend to be.
Savage, what do you think?
I actually agree with him. My only, I guess, point to add into it was just be they change through a lot. Like this, they're able to go from both sides, whether it's from country to pop and then to hip hop and change up. I just feel like that gate need to be open both ways. So if somebody from hip hop wanted to try to transition over to pop, it needs to be made a little bit easier. That's my only input on it, but I actually agree with him. 100%.
KP, what do you think?
Same. Said everything.
What about you, Alfonso?
I actually agree. Totally. I did a little digging and stuff like that, and like Kesha was saying, it's really and truly based on the environment you were in and how you were raised. Justin Timberlake grew up in a town where like it was 10% white people, where 85% of the people living there were black. So it really and truly depends on where you come up from, your upbringing and everything. And we can't just use the word black culture as it being for us, because it's really and truly for minorities who grew up around the culture.
My opinion is this. I've just noticed certain things. Let me use Miley Cyrus as a big example. Her first album she came out was very, how they want to say, pop. When that pop sound was not working for her, if you remember that time when she acted a fool in the VMAs, that's when her real transition was into the more urban sounding music. And that was selling, and it started hitting, and she started doing more like twerking on stage and rapping and doing all the extra stuff like that. But then when she was done with it, she went back to that Hannah Montana vibe. Like, oh, this is, pop music, which was very on the European side. But then when she realized that European music wasn't working, if you listen to her most recent music, she went back to the urban music. So that's what I'm saying, where I feel as though there's certain times where they will take the culture, not appreciate the culture. That's the thing I'm saying, because Justin Timberlake has done certain things where he doesn't appreciate the culture. Justin Bieber and Miley Cyrus, they just use it for that coin.
So
And go ahead.
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Was Miley Cyrus not appreciating the culture and trying to be urban and trying to be black and all that good stuff? Or was she aging out of being Hannah Montana into being Miley Cyrus and struggling through that aging process?
I don't agree with that. Because if you
it was a yes or no question.
No,
it
because
wasn't even like I don't agree. It was a yes or no. You didn't even answer
no,
the
but
question.
like
I don't agree with that.
my statement is this:
Yeah,
if you go back and watch certain interviews or the way she dressed or the way she was acting back in that time period of that album, you would see it was a more urban flair.
Out of
she
a teenager into an adult.
No, but she was already in her 20s. She's like what 28
Yeah,
now.
but she was
27?
still Hannah Montana
still
in her
Hannah
20s.
Montana.
Hold on. Is this not my opinion?
Nah.
It's not my opinion. It's not my opinion. I'm just saying that I feel as though a lot of Caucasian European people will take the culture and then abandon it when it doesn't work for them or they don't like it anymore, and they will come back to it. That's my issue.
They from Nashville.
Not, that's
in
you're,
Kentucky.
you're not listening to my opinion. You're not
Oh.
listening to my opinion. Like, say, let's use Billy Ray Cyrus. When he first came out, he was a country musician.
He started with gospel.
No,
Even his dad had a church.
I'm talking about his album. Young man. I'm not talking about his gospel bit. I'm talking about his album was country. He got on that little Nas track. He hit, and guess what? If you listen to his music now, what is it? It's more urban. Like, don't you gotta know your research before you come to me, homeboy.
So hey,
Well,
I'm a,
He
hold on.
did. He did gospel. He did pop. He did country.
You're
And
not.
You're not listening.
You're not listening.
Like, no. Listen. You stuck in your own way. I
Go
see it,
ahead.
brother.
Go
you
ahead.
you want to know old people? Get out your own way.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Listen, and then with Hannah Montana, it was a whole big thing because the parents who let their kids watch Disney had a whole issue with her trying to get out of being Hannah Montana. So yes, she had to change her appearance and go through the different tribulations or whatever just to get where she was at. But they did also state that she is the most successful Disney child star that there is.
You didn't listen to my question, so I'm going to say
You
the.
mean your answer?
No, I'm going to say
You
my. I'm
may-
going to say
you
my
may-
question again because my original question was, why do Caucasian celebrities use the urban culture, the black culture, abandon it, and then go back to it? That's my question. That was my original question.
We actually answered that.
I don't think you
and
answered
then
that.
we talked about environment.
I disagree.
So
We did.
we really
I mean,
did.
Keisha, I feel like
Ain't
you. I
even
feel like.
gonna
I feel
count.
like.
Ain't
But
even
that's the
gonna
thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. I feel as though Keisha, you answered it. I don't feel as though Alfonso answered it.
Alfonso agreed with me.
Like
I
he
agree.
didn't
So that was his answer.
he didn't know right now that Billy Ray Cyrus is more in the urban field right now of his recent music. So
I
he said,
did
oh, he
know that.
did Kanye's
I-
agreement.
I-
He did
I
not.
actually did know that.
Let me get somebody else's opinion. KP, you looking over there frowning your face up. You may disagree with what I'm saying, but please, I'm like 4 against 1 right now.
Sound like you losing.
You lost that. You lost the other one, homeboy.
That's
Keep
all right.
going.
I give it to you. It does seem that it does fit them, but like he's that whole thing with Justin Timberlake, I never knew that. I never knew he spent his life around black people, which I understand because coming from Atlanta, it was always that one white boy, or that one white family, or the couple white families
They
like,
ran with the
you know what I'm
squad.
saying? They was there. You know what I'm saying? They was down, and it was some of them that was more about it than I was. So you know, it is what it is. But it's like this. I think what she said was like that was the perfect way to explain the situation because she was literally coming from Hannah Montana to a grown person, and nobody has done that transition successfully as she did. And the only genre of music that allows you to be who you really are is hip hop. Pop, you have to stay in the lane. Country, you have to stay in the lane. Any other genre aside from R&B, which is just like hip hop, but you have to stay in that lane. She wanted to break away, so she did. Now, also Justin Bieber, he signed to Usher, bro.
Right.
At some point, he was going to enter. There was no way he was not going to do something pertaining to hip hop. And I also like Justin Bieber because he still pop. Now Taylor Swift come out with a rap song like how Katy Perry did. That's when we have a problem. That's what you're referring to. But you have to be more specific with the names you choose.
I said what I said, but moving on. This next topic, we're just going to briefly go through it. So one or two of us just going to answer the question here. I don't know if you guys have heard about. I'm going to butcher this boy name. What is it?
It's DeAndre, cuz.
DeAndre.
Yeah, it's just
Oh.
DeAndre.
DeAndre. Okay. Thank you. What do you mean? I just needed y'all to clarify. Help me out right there. We don't do that sometimes. We don't do that sometimes. Oh yes, that's me. That's me. Oh well. My question is for that one. We all know that his dreads are long and stuff like that, and they told him that he couldn't graduate unless he cut his hair. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 dread heads. I'm just gonna get 2 of y'all opinions. We're gonna move into the next one. Keisha, what's your opinion on this situation?
Okay, so first off, they didn't tell him he couldn't graduate. They told him he couldn't walk.
Same
So
thing.
It's not the same
Who works?
thing.
Who works? Go ahead. Let me let you finish. Go ahead.
I'm glad you asked. So to answer your question, number one, you don't get your diploma until it comes after you've walked. So if you walk or not, you're gonna get that diploma if you did what you had to do. They'll call you to the school to come pick it up. So let's start there. Secondly, I think that people are getting way too out of hand when it comes to what somebody's hair looks like. You can't stop me from earning this diploma that I've earned the last 4 years of my life because you don't like the way my hair looks. Because if we really gonna go about it like that, I didn't like the way you taught my history class. So with that being said, can we fire you? I think they're completely wrong in saying, I think they're completely wrong in telling that young man that he can't walk across the stage because he got locks.
KP, how do you feel about that?
I wouldn't have did it. I would have been right along. I'm with her. I said the same thing. I said, oh, so I can't walk, but I get my diploma? Say less.
And Alfonso, how do you feel about that situation since you are the longest dreadhead here? No, you are, yeah.
So about the whole situation, I read up on it. It's the school and it's the parents' fault. The school had a set of rules that were in place for over 30 years. The parents, the dad is Trinidadian, and he stated that the dreads is a part of the culture. There is an exemption form that the parents could actually went through with filling out, which would allow him to keep his dreads. It's just the proper steps weren't taken.
So, do you agree with the school system?
I mean,
Want him to cut his dreads?
It's the school system. If that's what they have in place, then you have.
So
to go by it.
so my question is, you don't believe in change, then?
I mean, that's not the answer. That's not.
But that's my question, because you just said. Go ahead.
You stated for the question. Do you think the kid should have to cut his dreads to graduate to follow their rules? Most def. The kid wore his hair up, so it states in the rules that if the kid is a certain length or past his ear or shoulder to his neck collar, then they have to cut it. But he didn't do it. He didn't follow the rules. So, I mean, the things that are going on now is that the school is saying, well, hey, because you didn't follow our rules, this is what's going on. There's plenty of universities when you go to get a bachelor's degree or master's degree in business, you cannot have cornrows, you cannot have dreads or anything. So,
but my question is to
but
that.
That's not. But your question.
Okay,
is,
so but I'm asking you a new question at this point. But I'm asking because you gotta let me talk. You gotta let me ask the question though. So I'm asking you a question though. So in that. Lord Jesus, like question. So in that sense, what about the females then? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Before you get it out, because I know. Do I feel it okay for the school to hold the kid back from doing what other kids are doing because of his hair? No, I mean it's totally wrong. The school shouldn't, but unfortunately, those are the rules that they have in place.
So, since you've done a little bit more research on it, do they require the females to have the same length of hair?
No.
That's crazy.
No.
I'm sorry, that's crazy.
But their whole thing is that if a kid has dreads or whatever, it's a distraction. Just like when you go to a charter school and a kid gets a new pair of shoes that are very colorful, the shoes are a distraction. So they keep it with solid colors, black, white, or whatever the school color is. So I understand that part of it, but I mean, listen, the rules are 30 years old. So
it's just we're going to wrap this up with this last statement. I understand that it was a rule, but for me, change should come with the time. So if you're telling me that you guys allow the females to have the long hair, and because I have dreads, I have to cut mine, that doesn't make any sense. It's 2020. So I just disagree with the whole, the case is, it's been 30 years. We've been doing it for 30 years. Slavery was for longer for that, but that had to change as well. So my thing is change come with time, so they need to change. But we're going to move on to the next topic at this point here. And I want to talk about something just a little bit more, I had a conversation with Alphonso. I want to move over to Dwayne Wade. Now, I know you guys heard the topic. Yeah, I'm going straight down to I'm jumping around. I want to talk about Dwayne Wade and his daughter. Well, I'm trying to be respectful. I promise you, I'm trying to be the most respectful. His son coming out saying that he wants to be transgender, and he wants to be referred to a female. Kesha, I want your opinion real quick on this.
So here's my thing, right? So at the end of the day, I have absolutely no issue with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union supporting that child and the decision that he feels he's come to. This young man is, 12 years old, I think? Is
12.
He's 12 years old. So here's my thing. If you want to be transgender, live your best life. However, just for me, if I were a parent, I don't foresee allowing my child to start taking any type of hormonal pills or anything like that while they're 12 years old. As a person in the LGBTQ, all the syllables and letters and all that community, I've seen too many people who a female says, I like girls while I'm in the 7th grade, and grades 9 through 12, I like men. So for that reason, I think that they wait. I think it's smart for them to wait until he's an adult. And if they still choose to support him, which I don't doubt they will, I think that's when they can start the process of saying, hey, go ahead and take the change. Because if they go ahead and allow him to make that change right now, and 5 years down the line, he says, I want to be a man and I want to, date women and I want to be that. Now they've screwed themselves over and they have to reverse something that I don't know is possible at that point.
How do you feel about the topic, Savage?
Kesha on point right now because I actually agree with it. That was actually what I was going to say. As far as what's going on, I don't believe that nobody should have no say so on what Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union have to do with their kid. I'm glad that they support them the same way, but it's not our business. Joe Schmo down the road, his daughter might be going through the same exact thing, but we're not talking about it on the news. It's just big because of who it is. But from Kesha's point, I actually, like I said, agree with it. I don't think that, she should be taking hormonal pills until she might be a little bit more of age to where she really wants to follow through with that.
What's your opinion on the situation, KP? How do you feel being a father of two?
Having a son right now, he's 8. I would say it was a while ago. It was like my son was no more than a couple months. Me and my wife was watching TV, and I was cracking the joke about this. I don't know if it was like a gay guy or a gay couple, whatever, and I was like out of pocket completely. And she instantly turned her head and looked at me and said, "Don't say that." I'm like, "What did I say?" She's like, "Don't be like that. Don't think like that." And I'm like, "Why?" She was like, "You have a son now. What if your son comes to you and say that you're gay?"
Right.
And instantly my heart shattered, a million pieces, hit the ground. And I was sitting there for the longest trying to think of a response, but I didn't have none because the love for my child outweighed how I felt about gay people. So ever since then, I kind of just, I let it go because that is a possibility in today's age, and even in any age, because gay people have always been here. Not to offend nobody, but
I'm
but
offended.
Yeah. Listen, man.
Alphonso, how do you feel about the topic?
So, I actually agree with Kesha and Salvage. Pretty much just because, like, everybody's entitled to feel how they want to feel. But at the end of the day, I think the age of the child should be a factor. And like Kesha said, like me coming from a pharmaceutical background and everything, those hormonal pills and all that stuff, like that stuff is bad. Like, and then it has a negative impact on you too. So yes, it is doing something to convert or change something else, but it does have another effect in other areas. And then like too, like you going to school, like middle school, high school, like you got bullies and everything. Like, so it's no telling how this is really gonna like work for the kid, also harm the kid at the end of the day, just because like you have other people who have their own opinions too.
Everybody's looking at me, waiting for my response.
Hurry
Waiting
up.
on the bullshit.
No. First of all, I agree with definitely what Kesha said. My biggest thing is I really, it didn't bother me at all that their son wants to be a female. I definitely respect that. My only thing the biggest thing is that I didn't want them to allow her, to start taking hormone pills because there people waver back and forth. You find yourself at that young age talking about, well, I'm gay. Should I be a female? Should I be a girl? I like dolls. But then you grow up and realize that's I don't want to be in heels. I don't want none of that stuff. So I just think they should actually give him time in his adulthood to grow. So I think that's the first topic of today that we actually agreed on as a group. Can somebody press one of them buttons? Because the next topic we not finna agree on at all.
Oh my God.
So even though I know you guys looking at the list, we're skipping around. I'm just trying to get to the good stuff here. This week I found out some very interesting information regarding my boy Alphonso. We had a conversation. We were talking, and he was on the phone with a customer, or somebody or something. He was talking to somebody on your phone or something like that, and you was actually praising Donald Trump. And I was baffled. I was confused. I was shocked. I thought you needed medicine. Your head was hurting. You was on fever. So, I asked him, did you support Trump? And let America, Black America, Spanish America, females of all races, the people on the border know how you felt about that, young man. Go ahead.
Most stuff. All right. So, like I told Cedric at work, of course.
My name is Keem, but that's okay. It's going to just mess up the whole thing. Keep going. That's all right.
You've been calling me Alphonso this whole time.
That's not what his name is?
My name Bennett, and ain't.
listen, you'll listen to the playback. But like I told him, yes, I do support some of the views that Donald Trump has. When it comes down to like the whole wall thing, other countries do have walls. Other countries do have borders. In order for you to be a citizen, you have to go through certain paperwork or processes to get it underway. And I feel like everybody should go through the exact same process. I did also tell him that Donald Trump is a great mind when it comes to business. Yes, more people will say, yes, he has had, let's say, 200 different bankruptcies. But when a person hear bankruptcy, who's a minority, don't have much, they think of it as a negative impact. But a person who has money or who is well off, they look at that as a way to start over fresh without having money. So, I mean, it's certain things that I do actually support. It's certain things that I don't support. But I also did tell Cedric Donald Trump at times just talks too much. If he learned how to refrain from talking or speaking on certain things, we wouldn't have the issues that we have.
Kesha, what do you think about that? How do you feel about?
So here's the thing. I am in no means a Donald Trump supporter. Like,
At all, period.
I do believe he's a good businessman. I don't think a good businessman makes you a great president.
At all.
Just like a great president can be a great president and a horrible businessman. However, there is no president, whether you be Democrat, Republican, liberal, or independent, whatever you choose, there's no president that you will vote for that you will agree with 1,000% of everything that they do. It just so happens that Donald Trump falls on the side where I disagree with like 80% of what he does. That doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that I don't like a person who decided to vote for him or somebody who supports him, because everybody's views are different. I have a best friend who is African-American male and is a diehard like Donald Trump. He supports Donald Trump. But there's some views that he's been allowed because he's in the military, so that's going to support, like, certain things going to support your point of view. I came up a little bit different. I'm a female. Obviously, Donald Trump is just full of shit when it comes to certain things when it comes to women, but that doesn't mean that at some point I have some level of respect for him. So if you vote for Donald Trump, you support Donald Trump, that's your business. Like he said, he just made my point clear. I don't agree with everything that Donald Trump's done. But if you support him for the majority, I can't say nothing to you, just like I support Obama or whoever has been president for the majority. I have my reasons for supporting that person based off my background. You have your reasons for supporting who you support based off of your background and just what you deal with on an everyday basis.
Savage, what's your opinion?
So myself, I am not a Trump supporter. However, I will agree, Donald Trump actually is a very, very smart man when it comes to business.
It's really not, but okay.
Actually, no, he is. When you can come from $200 million in debt and clear that up, you are.
It's not cleared up. Keep going, though. I can tell you didn't research the topic, but go ahead.
Fonzo.
Don't look at Alphonso. I'm talking to Savage.
Anyway, as I was stating, he is actually very bright when he does come to business. America actually is a business. If you think about it down to necessity purposes, it is a business. So, yes, he does look at it like that. I do not agree with what he stands for as far as like with the minority or with women. And then maybe he needs to be educated a lot more when it comes down to some of the politics of going to other countries. But as far as a business, yes, he actually is a genius.
Hold on. And for the record, I do not agree with how he treat women. I know KP tried to say that.
He did try to say
disrespectful to women earlier, but I did not say anything disrespectful. But I'm gonna let him go on.
It's that Henny. Anyway, what's your opinion on it, KP?
I don't support him or his actions as far as like his business mind. Like they said, I mean, you got to give it to him in some aspect. I mean,
I don't gotta give his ass shit.
I'm gonna say I'm not into politics, so I really can't speak on half of the stuff that he's done, and
Right.
I don't really too much care to know much about Trump. But I mean, I know he's a president, but that's just
My only argument with you, Alphonso, and you made a statement that he's a good businessman. You think he's a good businessman because he has a lot of money?
I don't know how much.
No, I'm not. I'm asking Alphonso a question because I'm just specifically asking him. Go ahead,
I
finish
don't
it.
know how much money
Okay.
he has.
Because my statement is with Trump is, he kind of reminds me of Kylie Jenner. He was born into money, so he had it easier. So if you keep saying that he's a great businessman to me is a person that starts with nothing and is able to get something or somewhere or some amount of money. He didn't do that.
How
His
much money
parents.
do you think his dad or parents?
His parents had. Do you know his parents? His parents had a lot of money.
They did have a lot of money, but to start his own business, how much money do you think his dad gave him? You got to.
It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. they helped him in some type of way, correct?
So
did they,
if
but
they-
my
so
question
if
is,
they
did they
gave
help him?
so if
Did they help him?
gave him- if
Did
they
they help
gave him
him?
$1 million, and
Did
he turned $1
they
million into
help
300
him?
out- I mean, 300 million.
No,
I mean-
because the average Joe doesn't have $1 million. I don't have $1 million. So my question is to you: was he not born into money, so he didn't have it easier? So did he not have it easier?
We don't know how he was raised, so we can't say whether or not he had it easier.
Just to let you guys know, if you Google Donald Trump's parents, it will show dollar signs. Plain, this simple. He was born into money, so he had it easier. Nobody at this table has $1 million. No parent here at this table had $1 million to even start. If I had $1 million, you think I would not be able to make that into more money? KP, shut your ass up. Go ahead, Kesha, because you said you got a statement to make there.
So here's the thing. First of all, it's also about how you use your money. So granted, I could have came into a whole bunch of money. I could have been born into a whole bunch of money. But if I'm not smart with it, I don't know how to use it, it don't matter how much money I had. I could be sitting out here bankrupt. So here's my question for you. Do you think Kobe Bryant was a good businessman?
I do. I think that he had a talent, and from that talent, he was able to branch off to other things. But that was a talent that he worked hard for physically to get. That's just my opinion.
So here's my and
Go ahead.
obviously no disrespect to Kobe Bryant, but do you know who Kobe Bryant's parents are?
No.
You know the money that they had.
Not a clue.
So my point is, you can't take away from Donald Trump because his parents had money and say he's not a good businessman, and then talk about Kobe Bryant because Kobe Bryant's dad was a basketball player just like he was.
Mm-hmm.
Not as successful, but he was a basketball player nonetheless. Kobe Bryant didn't grow up over here. He ended up going to high school over here, but he didn't grow up over
He was
here.
like Germany, am I wrong?
Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So my point is, Kobe Bryant had that extra step that you're bringing up for Donald Trump as well. But if you're going to respect him as a businessman because of what he did with it, you got to take that same energy, keep that same energy, and you got to respect Donald Trump based off of your logic.
Right. Okay. Listen,
that's all I'm
I told the people who listened to the podcast that Kesha was going to come through and make sense of the situation and enlighten people because Alphonso was going to say what he want to say. Anyway, but I'm just gonna move on into another topic here because I'm not going to agree with him at all. Anyway, my next question is regarding Pastor Troy attacking Lil Nas.
Bruh.
Now, I saw the post. I read it twice. I read it backwards. I want to know, KP, what was your opinion when you first saw this and you saw the reaction of Pastor Troy?
Pastor Troy done had some shit happen in his life before. Some gay shit that happened to him. And he mad at Lil Nas. First of all, this man, I ain't gonna go too deep into it. Anyway, yeah, he a hater, bro. He a hater because that man out here living his life. And he ain't have to go that deep into a situation and be that mad about how successful that young black man is.
Right.
Just stop right there.
Savage, what about you?
I think this is actually where Pastor Troy took his opinion a little bit too far. He probably should have just left it at that. His whole statement that he made about his son saying, F Applebee's, everything like that. It actually shows how his son is being raised from him. And again, in a society right now where, like Kesha stated, the LGBTQ community, they're actually trying to have equal rights just like everybody else. It's just another way of like putting them behind, and putting everybody down when we're all trying to come together as one anyway.
Kesha, what's your opinion on the situation?
I think Pastor Troy is a homophobic.
Explain why you feel that way.
I mean, I know y'all saw the Twitter that he put up or the tweet that he put up, but in that same token, if y'all seen his interviews, the follow up on what he said and why he said it, this man is raising his kids to where a point they straight up ask him, so if your son comes to you and tell you, oh, I'm gay or I want to
Right.
date men, how are you? Oh, I can't even do that. We don't even speak that. We don't even think about like that man is a complete homophobic. And granted, to KP's point, I don't know his history, so maybe something did happen to him. But at the end of the day, you can't proclaim to be a black king and raising black kings and tear down another young black king just because he's not like you.
I mean, she been getting that buzz all day, but thank you so much. Alphonso, what's your opinion on the situation? Because I already know it, and this is why I want to.
You already.
I always
know
save him for last because I be knowing.
it. So
Everybody, just get ready to listen to this. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like for his comment, the statement that he made, was he wrong? No. But at the same token, because that's his opinion, that's how he feels, that's what he's pushing this kid for to believe in, whatever. So was he wrong for a statement? No. But yes, because he was disrespecting a whole nother group or culture, however you want to label it. It's just when it comes to me, my kids and everything, how I look at it is that if it is going to be normal, like everybody wants equal rights or whatever, it shouldn't be put in the kids' TV shows and stuff like that, where it's like altering their perception of certain things. Because like if you have a kid or whatever, you're not gonna go out, like if you have a boy or a girl, right, and your kids say, hey, listen, I want a football, you're not gonna go out and buy a pink football. Like you're gonna buy a traditional colored football. So if the pink football isn't there, then that would be what you would go to, and that's okay. But I'm just saying, like with certain things, I'm just noticing that how things were, it's just being done differently these days.
So basically what you're saying is that you don't like the fact that femininity in a man is femininity.
Stop making up words.
Femininity.
What did I say?
Femininity.
bad, but y'all knew what I was talking about, right? So you don't like that being in the mainstream media, because that's basically what you're saying. You say you don't
I'm
like
fine
how
with it. I'm fine with it, but it should, like, the parents in the home should have a choice.
They do have a choice.
They don't.
How so?
Because all the cartoons that are mainstream, all of them are segueing. So the parents should have a choice.
That's not true. That's not true, man. That's not true.
I got a question.
For 100 years, the same type of cartoons been coming on. PBS, Cartoon Network, stuff like that. They integrate one piece of any homosexuality, and the straight heterosexual male be like, "Oh my God, it's too much." What?
No. Who does that though?
A lot of heterosexual males do that. I'm just saying that's a lot. There's been tons of heterosexual kissing or relationships in the mainstream from years. You throw in one gay character, y'all up in arms. Oh my God, what the hell's going on? That shouldn't be shown on TV. You're doing too much. What?
So
that doesn't make any sense. Go ahead.
I mean, for us to watch it, I don't care about that. Like I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Right. I have no feeling, dislike, or anything like that. What I'm stating is, when it comes down to the children television shows or whatever, it should give a description as to what's going on.
Did they have to give a description when they speak of a heterosexual relationship?
They do.
Do they? But do they?
They do.
They do? They do not.
They do. Just like with movies and everything else, it tells you what's going on.
When Hey Arnold and that girl with the Elga, it was no description of them two and how she was going crazy over that man.
Before it came on, it was a description.
It was not a description.
It tells you the age group, just like video games and everything else.
Cartoons still tell you the age group right now today. I'm just saying this, and this is just my opinion. Back to Pastor Troy. I do feel as though there's some type of self-hate that definitely with heterosexual male. Anytime they see any type of femininity, for some reason it bothers their, you know what I'm trying to say, femininities or whatever you want to talk about.
Feminine tendencies. There you go. Say that. Feminine tendencies.
I got it.
You got it.
It's just like they become up in arms. So it's like a whole, like he said that, keep that faggot shit away from my kids. That's exactly what he said. So, and my thing is, gay people have been around since the beginning of times. So you're telling me you're going to block off your children's like life knowledge because you just don't like the gay culture, or you don't like gay people, or you don't like that? No, matter of fact, you don't like gay black men being feminine. That's what it is.
And successful.
I mean, I don't care. But
his statement was that I'm not going to get a Grammy.
Well, because he's not going to wear. He's not going to whatever.
No,
so,
it's not that he had to wear that. He's just not good.
No, right. But his statement was, well, I guess I won't be winning a Grammy if this is what I got to wear. So, I mean, I have it here. But the thing is, like, his music wasn't good
at all.
Yeah, I mean, he had some good songs. One
or two.
But I mean, just because of how Lil Nas is dressing or whatever, I mean, that may be some part because he's appealing to the kids, but he has good music too. So, I mean, Pastor Troy he just bitter. That's it.
Bitter, hater, and hatred. That's what I feel like. Completely. So, I made my statement. She made hers, and Alphonso, of course, made his, which was debatable. I want to move over to another topic here, which we're going to move over to just a quick, because this conversation came up. It has really nothing to do with Black history, nothing like that. But me and Alphonso will be talking at work, and he thinks it's okay for you to talk to your ex. So I just want you guys' opinion on that. How do you feel as though talking with your ex? So I feel a couple of people moving in the podcast. So I'm gonna start off from my right hand side. Savage, go ahead and pass that mic to KP. We just want opinions from across the room. We gonna go in a circle here. Go ahead. Get to talking.
I would never. I would never say that's okay, because
Sound like you done been disrespectful.
Don't wanna go. It ain't even about the disrespect. It's just, I mean, it is. It definitely is. I'm sorry, but let's just be real, bro. Like, somebody who you for sure you had chemistry with, you're fine with your woman talking to her ex?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any.
We gonna wait. Hold your opinion. Hold your opinion.
Okay,
just
go
answer.
ahead,
You said yes. You said yes.
Okay.
Finish your statement. Then we gonna move on to Savage. Savage, he passed the mic to you. He done with it. He done with it.
Oh man.
You see how they getting, Kesha?
So I mean,
Y'all look hot over there.
Y'all look hot. Answer the question.
Nah, so really, I think it comes down to the dynamic of the situation. Because in some cases, when you talk about exes, you may have kids with them, so you might need that open dialogue between them. But if you're talking about like kids not involved, maybe it wouldn't be too good to go ahead and have some type of conversation with your ex. So,
okay.
So no.
I was gonna go to Alphonso, but I like to save him for last. Kesha, go ahead, Kesha.
So here's the thing, right? So I know there's exes who they were genuinely friends first, and so they got into a relationship, and then they figured out, hey, we were better as friends, and so you go back to that friendship. For me in my house, ain't no exes being talked to. Like that's just me in my house.
Right.
But for some people that works. And for most people it doesn't. For most people I know, the minute they see an ex like a picture on Instagram,
it's a wrap.
It's a whole investigation, and somebody about to get damn near killed out here. So I mean, like, I'm just not trying to go through that. Like, and what benefit is it bringing for you to talk to your ex? Like, what are you missing in your current relationship where you feel like you need to reach out to this person? So that's my thing. Like, nah. And if you feel like you're missing something, then me and you need to have a conversation, because something ain't right if you feel like something really missing. So that's a hard no for me.
Alphonso, how do you feel about that?
So, as you stated, I feel that it is okay. But
explain why. Why is it okay?
Because, like Kesha stated, you may have come to terms with this person, and you say, hey, listen, we're better as friends, and that's really it. At the end of the day, that's how it's chopped up. And when I say have conversations, I don't mean on a daily basis. I don't mean disrespecting your significant other when you're talking to the person 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Don't mean in the sense of like, but pretty much, hey, how you doing? What's going on? How your family? You've been cool with those people. So, I mean, if it's been a negative situation or something like that, and KP over there, he was struggling. But if it's been crazy like that and you can't just simply have a conversation, then cool, maybe a friendship isn't for you.
So if your significant other comes up to you and say, I don't like it, I don't like the relationship that you have with your ex, what is your next move, Alphonso?
I would decrease the amount of time that I have a conversation with the person. But hold up. Hold up.
Let me tell you, hold on.
No, hold on.
Faces in this room lit up.
But hold on.
Keep going.
Hold on.
That's why I saved them for last.
So my thing is though too, like, right, it's gonna be people in your life who your significant other is not gonna like, friends or what have you. Now you have to explain the dynamics of your relationship with that person, and you have to make sure you cover the bases where there's no, let's say, insecurities in the relationship where the person feels as if, hey, well, you're talking to this person, you're trying to get with them, hey, you're sliding in their DM. Like, that ain't the case for most days. Like, go ahead.
So you're saying that if your spouse or your girlfriend or whoever said, I don't feel comfortable with that relationship, you're telling me you'll look or you would do and just decrease it but still keep it.
I will look them in the face and say, fuck that.
No, and
but being honest though, like, with this being my opinion, I just feel like you shouldn't have to cancel certain relationships just based on the feeling of how your significant other feels. I mean, it's just like if there's a family member, we all got them who we don't like them, or the significant other doesn't like them. So is it okay to cut your family off because your significant other
y'all
has
you
a bad
didn't
taste?
fuck your family. We talking about exes, sex involved, body fluids, sucking dick, eating pussy. We talking about that.
But the only way,
I'm just saying that's what.
But hold on.
With a
But-
foom sport.
Yeah,
Right.
we talk about that. We're not talking about family.
Right,
We can't
but-
compare. That's totally different,
But
bro.
the thing is, the only way an ex would know is if you. I mean, the only way a person in your relationship would know is if you tell them.
that what y'all fucking?
Yeah, they would be used to.
Okay,
You tripping.
I'm
You tripping.
I'm just trying to clarify every
That's
statement
that
you
tight
make.
ass cap. That's what
No,
it is.
it's not. I'm
That's
just
that tight ass cap.
I'm just trying to clarify. So we got understanding that Alphonso feels as though if somebody or his spouse or anybody he would be with said that I don't want you to talk to your ex because y'all was fucking having nasty sex and all that.
You
that
just
you
being over
would
the top right
decrease
now.
it.
Like, you
I'm
just making it so
It's the same
negative
thing. First,
right
first of
now.
all, when you have sex with your girl, it ain't nasty and hot and steamy and passionate. It is. So when you break up with that person and you are having conversation, that's what goes through your spouse's mind. Like y'all saw each other naked. She was down there on her knees. You was clapping them cheeks. Come, all that stuff, squirting and all that stuff. You telling me that that's what goes through your spouse's mind. So you telling me you're just going to decrease it. You're not going to end it because they don't feel you don't give it shit basically.
So
Go ahead.
I would show the messages.
You can delete messages.
But why go through all that? Like, cause like
You out brand new. People out here cheating every single day. They are professional cheaters. Keisha, this man lost his mind.
listen, but why? This not high school, so why go through all that? If this is
People do it every day. I know a 68-year-old man right now cheating, deleting messages and stuff off that. LOL.
So, Fonzo, let me ask you a question. Okay, so you say it's okay for, if you talk to your spouse, your ex or whatever, just a little bit. Okay, cool. How would you feel if the roles were reversed and you found that your woman was?
He's gonna say he not give a fuck. That's what he's gonna say. He's not
But I
gonna
mean, like, but we're talking about having a full. And she showed you text messages, but they were like, oh, hey, let's go grab lunch, and you found out that they went and grabbed lunch. It was everything was completely. It was completely friendship. It wasn't no touching, no flirting, but it's just the fact that person is constantly in your girl's life.
He's a mutant. He's not. He's gonna say he don't give a fuck. He's gonna say he don't give a fuck. That's what he's gonna say.
I mean, we would have a conversation about it. Like, if an ex reached out to me and was like, "Hey, listen, let's go out for lunch or whatever," that would be something I would have a conversation with my chick about to make sure she's okay with it. Like, I'm not gonna just go out to lunch with an ex and then be like, "Yo."
But you just said you would. So if she said no,
have a conversation.
If she said no, if she said no, would you still go?
No, if she said don't go, fuck no.
I'm just
it ain't no reason to lie about this shit. She said
I'm just trying to clarify because you said decrease having conversation, but
yeah,
you
we talking
no to
about
lunch.
conversation. We're not talking about meeting up. Like, come on, be clear. That tight ass cap over there.
Conversation is sometimes worse than meeting up.
Go ahead, Kesha.
Go ahead,
I wish we had a camera right now to just see KP's face, dog. This shit is so fucking priceless. KP over there like, bitch, where is this nigga from out here?
Like who's allowing this?
I'm gonna say this, like, it is, Bo. I'm gonna say this, like, on some real shit. Like, if, first of all, it's not really any conversation that I'm having with an ex. But let's say that there was an ex who is just like a friend or still following me on Instagram, something like that. If she makes a comment or make reference to something that's going on, if my spouse sees that, we gonna have some. I'm sure it's gonna be an issue, and maybe it will be, or maybe it won't. But if at any point my wife says, I don't feel comfortable with that, I don't like that, you can rest assured that this ex is now blocked, deleted, and everything else. And that's it. That is it. Like, period. Pool, like whatever, city girls, like whatever, like that shit is dead. Like, because at the end of the day, like, this is my spouse. This is the person I chose to spend the rest of my life with. Right. I'm not about to put that at risk when it's just a light ass comment on Instagram or a like. I'm not gonna put that at risk under any circumstances when I chose to spend the rest of my life with this person. This is a stupid ass fight that I'm gonna let happen if I'm gonna just let this person keep disrespecting, and even if they're not disrespecting, you know, I'm in a relationship, dog. You see my wife on Instagram. You see her out here. Don't be out here liking shit and commenting on shit. You know some shit gonna hit the fan.
Yeah,
Come on
but
now.
So if the comment is tied to, let's say, what happened in the past, then of course it's gonna be you putting the gloves on and whatever. But if it's like a genuine ass like comment, just nothing crazy, nothing about the past. Hey, congratulations on you and your girl. No shady shit.
That congratulations will turn into a DM.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you just.
That wouldn't turn into no.
Oh,
deal.
Congratulations! I really miss you. I thought it was gonna be us, but
Nah,
congratulations.
but see that,
but
see that there though. I miss you. If that ain't there, then you should be cool. But come on, KP, you've been silent. Let's get it.
He don't got nothing to say.
He don't got nothing to say. Listen.
Already.
That man said what he had to say, and he's done with that.
I feel like how you're coming at it, you're looking at it only from your point of view.
Ooh.
Because it's like, yeah, you can say, oh, I'm going to have I'm not even, my ex, I'm like, hey, let's link. Hey, man, and it ain't happening.
Well, listen, we done had a very good debate, meaning Alphonso versus everybody. It's your boy, The Amazing King, coming to you live in the color, bringing that oh so amazing touch. You can find me on IG at AmazingIam_. You can also follow our podcast page at ReadyForIt_. And you can find my boy Savage.
Again, that's at The Real Keys on IG, and be on the lookout for Elevated Mentality.
And you can follow my boy KP.
It's me, man, _Poetic Pimpin'. Y'all already know what's going on.
And I want to thank my guest Kesha for joining us today. Where can they find you at?
Listen, y'all follow me on IG. That's finesse_gawd, GAWD 93.
And the muscle god himself, Alphonso, where can they find you at?
Yo, you can find me at inhuman_23 on IG.
We appreciate y'all. Get ready for it, baby.